Dan, Weymouth, Massachusetts. I just want to share with you my introductory to send out cards through an organization that I belong to. I listened to a webinar, and after completing listening to the webinar, I decided that it was a really neat product, but I wasn't completely sold on it. And I decided to just, I told the person I would think about it. And a couple of days later, I needed to get a birthday card from my wife. So I'm self-employed. I left my office during lunch, around lunchtime. I drove a couple miles down to the Hallmark store, and I had to get a card from myself, and then I have 2 children, so I needed to get a card from each of my boys, and then I also have 2 dogs, and I needed to get one card from the dogs, so I needed to get a total of 4 cards, and I was in there for probably a good, at least a half hour, 40 minutes. When I pick out cards, I try to pick out cards that have some meaning to them, and so it takes me a little while to find the right card. So I left the store after spending, I think it was around $10 on cards, and then I stopped at the post office on the way back, signed the cards, and then I went into the post office, and because it was lunchtime, it's busy, and there was only one person behind the counter, so I think I was there for 15 minutes. So it was about a little over an hour of my time that I had to use to do this. So I had spent so much time in the store that I actually forgot, so much time picking out my wife's cards that I forgot I needed another card from my son, whose birthday is 2 days later. So the next day I was back down at the Hallmark store, again picking out cards, picking out a card. This time it was only one card, and I was there for about maybe 10 or 15 minutes before I found the right card. And then I had to go to the post office again and then get the stamp and that. So it was probably the next day that I was sitting at my desk, and I had the Send Out Cards DVD, and I thought about my experience with the cards and the cost of the cards and going. I think for the most part it was really the time, the time involved of going to the store, picking it out, and then not being able to find the right one, and so I threw the DVD into my laptop, and I have to admit that I was sold at that point. I ran through the entire DVD during my lunch hour, or an hour and a half, and I just was sold on it. So I called up the person who sent me the DVD, and I told them that I wanted to sign up, and I signed up. So I think it's a great product. I originally wanted it for business. However, I am also using it in my personal life. I have I have three sisters, 2 other brothers. We communicate, by phone. We maybe see each other during the holidays, and I have to admit that the first thing I did following the plan, I bought the entrepreneur package, and I started sending cards to my family. And I have to admit that, sitting down at a computer and typing what you want to say, I was amazed at the words that came out. So the words that I could come up with to put on the card. So I was pretty impressed with that, as well as the ability to use the upload pictures and what have you. So I think it's a great product, and I'm very happy that I